Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Forging Indestructible Self-Discipline. Today, we're talking about the wall. You know the one. It's that invisible, heavy barrier that appears exactly when the initial excitement fades and the brutal reality of the grind sets in. It is the moment when the voice in your head stops whispering and starts screaming, just quit. Today, we're going to silence that voice. We're going to talk about why staying in the fight, especially when it hurts, is the ultimate test of your discipline. And why, as long as the goal is worth it, you have only one option. You must continue. Let's get one thing straight right out of the gate. Self-discipline is not just about waking up at 4:30 in the morning or eating clean. Those are habits. True self-discipline, and the indestructible kind we talk about on this show, is highly correlated with one specific behavior: not quitting. Self-discipline is the bridge between intention and execution. And that bridge is built over a river of fatigue, doubt, and failure. Anyone can be enthusiastic on day 1. But what happens on day 50? What happens on day 500? When you have put in the work, sacrificed your comfort, and life still hits you with a massive setback. That is where the weak fold and the disciplined forge ahead. We live in a culture obsessed with the path of least resistance. If something gets hard, the modern reflex is to pivot, to reevaluate, to find a softer route. But if you want to achieve something of actual substance, whether that is building a business, transforming your physique, or mastering a complex skill, then there is no soft route. When you hit that wall, you have to run a very simple binary calculation. You ask yourself one question: is this goal still worth it? If the answer is no, if the mission is fundamentally changed, then you adjust. But if the answer is yes, the outcome still aligns with your deepest values and your highest ambitions, then your feelings about how hard it is right now are entirely irrelevant. If it is worth it, you continue. Full stop. Now let me tell you about resilience. True resilience doesn't mean you don't feel the weight of the world. It doesn't mean you don't get exhausted or overwhelmed. It means that you have made a non-negotiable contract with yourself regarding how you will respond to that weight. When the pressure mounts, I want you to adopt a very specific mantra. I want you to look at the obstacle, look at the fatigue, and say to yourself, I may bend, but I will not break. Think about a tree in a hurricane. The rigid, inflexible trees, the ones that refuse to yield to the wind, they are the ones that snap. They are uprooted and destroyed. But the trees that survive, they bend. They bow almost to the earth under the force of the gale. They endure the storm by accepting the pressure, surviving the night, and standing tall again when the wind dies down. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to be frustrated. You are allowed to bend. But if you have indestructible self-discipline, you do not give yourself permission to break. You do not quit. And let's be completely honest about the journey. You're going to take hits. You're going to fail. And sometimes you are going to fail publicly and painfully. You will put everything you have into a project, a relationship, or a mission, and it will fall apart anyway. The world is going to knock you down. That is a guarantee. It is the entry fee for doing anything worthwhile. But being knocked down is a physical position. Being knocked out is a mental decision. When you hit the mat When the wind is knocked out of your lungs and everything goes dark for a second, you have to hold on to this absolute truth. You can knock me down, but you can never knock me out. The referee only calls the fight if you stay on the ground. As long as you keep getting back up, the fight is still on. And every time you stand back up, your discipline hardens. It goes from being a fragile idea to an unbreakable reality. So, what are you facing right now? What is the challenge that has you eyeing the exit door? Take a step back. Assess the goal. Is it worth it? Will achieving this make you who you need to be? If the answer is yes, then lock the exit door, burn the ships, cut off the escape routes. Commit right now that you will take the hits. Commit that you will bend under the pressure, but you will never, ever break. Let the world knock you down, and then show the world exactly who you are by getting back on your feet. Indestructible self-discipline isn't about avoiding the fire. It is about learning how to walk through it without burning to ash. Do not quit. Keep yourself moving forward. All right, that is it for today. I very much appreciate and thank you for listening to this episode of the Forging Indestructible Self-Discipline podcast. If this episode gave you the armor you needed today, share it with someone who is in the trenches right now and needs to hear it. And until next time, stay disciplined, stay unbreakable, and never stay down.